And welcome back to Oblivion Remastered. I'm John, and this is 3 Cents, our Breton adventurer, who has another level up coming the next time he decides to sleep. When we left off in the last stream, I said I was going to go pick up some ingredients and do some potion making off stream so that you didn't have to watch me fumble around with the mortar and pestle, because, well, that's not the most scintillating thing to sit and watch once you know kind of what's going on with that. It was a very successful ingredient buying, potion making, potion selling session. Enough so, in fact, that I was able to pay to get out of storage the bedroom furniture for Frostcrag Spire, which we became the new owner of in the last episode. So when we return to Frostcrag Spire at some point, we should at least have somewhere to sleep, and hopefully a chest or two to start storing some things in. We also learned when going to pick up ingredients, we know now where to pick up at least the novice level of the alembic and the calcinator and the other device, that all basically, if you have them in your possession when you're doing potions, they will make them better, stronger, longer, more valuable, which in turn will make them more valuable, which means you can kind of keep the revenue stream going and growing. How successful was that session of potion making? Successful enough that I paid almost 1,700 gold to get that bedroom furniture out of storage. So the storage rates in Cyrodiil are apparently excessively high. So, but we did do it. Our gold is a little low at the moment, 486 left. But yeah, we got, I don't know, close to 1,000 gold probably, 1,200 gold or something out of that batch of potions. So it was well worth the time. However, we have other things to do, including a visit to Tarmina at the Arcane University, an expert in Daedric cults. Maybe she can tell us something about that book and how to find the mythic Dawn, who appear to be behind the assassination of the Emperor and who are causing all sorts of trouble. We made our way over. We'll also maybe we'll hear more about that task to clear out some bandits that we keep hearing rumors about. So here we are now, standing outside the Arcane University. We've come through the City Isle, and we have made it down to the Arcane University. There is an Imperial Legion battle mage awaiting us. Somewhere in here, we should find Tarmina. Oh, Tarmina.
Hello there.
Yes?
Hi.
I'll pay handsomely if you can procure the items in that list. Find me everything on there, and you'll be well compensated. Good day. Some say that Traven is misusing the power of the Archmage's position to further his personal agendas.
So apparently I walked in the door and
Bye.
she
Well met.
okay.
I understand Aradel is good at getting into places other people can't.
If he'll train you in picking locks, you're probably already pretty good at it.
So long.
Farewell.
Okay. So I think I just got a new quest without really asking. Repairing the orrery. I spoke with Othel from the Arcane University, and she gave me a note mentioning a shipment of dwarven artifacts stolen by bandits. She would pay handsomely for having them retrieved. I should head toward Camp Ailes and get my hands on those artifacts. I will keep that in mind. Right now, I still need to find Tarwina. Oh, I have no idea where that new map marker just popped up. I'm going to guess it's probably up there somewhere. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But we have other things to do. I need to find. Oh, would you look at that? Tarmina.
Ah, you must be the one I got the message about. How can I help you? You know of them? One of the most secretive of all the Daedric cults. Not much is known about them. They follow the teachings of Mainkar Cameron, whom they call the Master, a shadowy figure in his own right. Ah, yes. Commentaries on the Mysterium Xarxes. Wonderful. You have a scholarly interest in Daedric cults, then?
Well, it's a little more complicated than that. But ultimately, I need to find the
Find
Mythic
them,
Dawn.
huh? I won't poke my nose any further. Official business and all that. I'm used to working with the Blades. Don't worry. Say no more. In any case, finding them won't be easy. I've studied Mainkar Cameron's writings a bit myself. At least those that I could find. It is clear from the text that Mainkar Cameron's commentaries come in 4 volumes, but I've only ever seen the first 2 books. I believe that his writings contain hidden clues to the location of the Mythic Dawn's secret shrine to Mehrunes Dagon. Those who unlock this hidden path have proven themselves worthy to join the ranks of the Mythic Dawn cult. Finding the shrine is the first test. If you want to find them, you'll need all 4 volumes of the commentaries.
Where would one pick those up? The bookstore in
Here.
town, maybe?
You can have the library's copy of Volume 2. Treat it gently, if you please. As I've said, I've never even seen the 3rd and 4th volumes. You should try first edition over in the Market District. Phintius, the proprietor, caters to specialist collectors. He may have an idea of where to locate those books.
Well, I was kidding, but maybe I was more correct than I thought. What about this Mainkar
The
Cameron?
supposed leader of the Mythic Dawn cult. He wrote the infamous Commentaries on the Mysterium Xarxes. The commentaries are contemporary with Tiber's Septum, over 400 years ago, so he is unlikely to still be alive, although you never know.
I'm chasing a 400-year-old cultist. This just gets better and better. And what about this Mysterium Xarxes?
The holy book of the Mythic Dawn, supposedly written by Mehrunes Dagon himself. If it exists, it would be an artifact of great and evil power.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the help.
It was
Tarmina.
so nice chatting with you. Be sure to let me know how your hunt for the Mythic Dawn turns out.
I'm sure you'll be hearing from me.
Welcome to the Arcane University. If you wish to become a part of the Mages Guild, seek out the head of the local guild halls. They will instruct you further.
Okay. Well, got anything
Have a look
I
around.
should know about?
You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
Well, actually, I might. Too rich for my blood. And not to mention that I'm not at that level, bro. I'm just not at your level. Can't go to the council chambers. Don't really want to.
Well met.
So yeah. So we have picked up a new book that should be in our inventory now. So we have the second of the Mythic Dawn commentaries. This is 10 weight that I'm going to be lugging around for a while. Might be worthwhile to go drop those off somewhere, because that's that's kind of significant. So we could go back and try to talk to Phintius at the first edition, but it's so late, I suspect he would be closed by the time we got there. So that may have to wait until tomorrow. We could make our way up to Frostcrag Spire again, but that's about a 6-hour trip. So it would be around midnight by the time we got in, although then we could sleep. Where is this Camp Ales? Outside Kavach, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. We'd be a long way from there. Yeah, we're kind of at a point where it's late in the day and the people we need to see aren't likely to be easy to find either. So maybe we do make that long trip back up to Frostcrag Spire. And we'll have to go outside to do that. Which door did I come
Hi there.
in? There we go. They're locked up tighter than a tick in here. We can't really get past the lobby and the front desk. We could go wandering around a little, but... Ooh, ingredients. But I think
You have
probably
my answers.
we could... They probably wouldn't mind if we picked a few mushrooms. I mean, they're growing wild outside and all. We can lolly around in here for a minute.
This is necromancy we're talking about, after all. Such a hideous discipline. All that blood, rotten flesh. I just wonder, will this affect the work that's already been done in the field of illusion? Or jeopardize the new advances in conjuration? Let us part now and see what we can come up with separately. We'll meet sometime later and compare notes. When I know I'll come find you.
Not sure I'm supposed to overhear people talking about necromancy, honestly. But, no expectation of privacy. No privacy at all. We could head back. So it's 6:28. Let's see what time we actually arrive. I'm just going to fast travel this because... So 6:28, it took 7 hours to get back. I think it took 6 to get down. I guess that's the difference between going down the mountain and up the mountain. I'm sure my old nag really appreciated that. Well, let's go see what the new bedroom, what the bedroom furniture, it should have been delivered by now. Where's the door? Around and around and around we go. Here's my door. Frostcrag Spire. Our rather easily acquired player home. Yeah, good to be home. It is the middle of the night, and we will need to get an early start, but let's go check the living area and see if we have a bed now. Well, there's the garden area again. Well, there is a bed now. And I'm happy to say there is also a chest. A chest that should be okay to store some things in. That door goes outside. There's a cupboard. We'll just remove the mandrake root. Take the lesser soul gem. Take the weak poison. A set of scales. Another weak potion. That cupboard is empty. So when you acquire things in Oblivion, for those of you who, again, I think sometimes people watching have not played. So Containers come in basically two types. Those that respawn, meaning that if you put something in them and leave it for about 3 days, when you come back, your stuff may be gone, but new stuff could be laying in its place. And your stuff would be gone. And you don't really want to lose things like quest items and that kind of thing. So you have to be careful about that. With most player homes, the items that you get when you decorate, which is a process that goes with all of the different player homes in all the different cities, or outside cities, or wherever they may come to pass. When you do that, they're generally safe, but there are occasions, Bethesda being Bethesda and Bethesda Games being Bethesda Games, where you can put something away and... Alright, so is that not a container? I have to remember how to put things in things. I don't want to take all. I want to put things in the chest. Well, I feel rather dumb. Maybe those containers are not containers for me to store things in. I'm going to hope what we could do, though, generally things left lying around, there should be nobody else popping in here anytime soon. So what I'm going to hope for is that we can drop some of these really heavy books. I think we're going to also drop this really heavy broom that I seem to be carrying around. But if we drop some of these books and things, we'll save some weight. And then we'll just know that we have those books safely stored away here. We're going to get rid of 6 pounds here that way too. We've got spare items. So hopefully those all just kind of fell on the floor. Yeah, I keep a messy house. Here's the famous way to drag things around in your home. But there's the Mythic Dawn commentaries, 1 and 2. A rather expensive Dance in the Fire. But for now, I think we should probably get a little sleep. Yeah, it's 3 in the morning. And it's a long way from here to pretty much anywhere. But if we took a 3-hour sleep, get back up at 6, maybe a 2-hour sleep and get back up at 5. But I think we're going to level up here. I believe. Yes. Ascending to level 4. Now, the good news is, as you ascend, you gain more skills and become stronger and faster and smarter and all that. The bad news is that your enemies level with you, so every fight gets tougher too. So you have to kind of make sure you're leveling everything kind of at the same time. When it's all suddenly obvious, you just have to concentrate. All the energy and time you've wasted, it's a sin. But without the experience you've gained, taking risks, responsibility for failure, how could you have understood? So I have 12 points to spend across 3 attributes. And remember that every 10 is where you see a gain in your ability and whatnot. So when intelligence goes up to 60, and we're actually going to go to 61, because math, we have to spend 5, 5, and 2 is an option. Agility governs the amount of damage done with short swords, and that seems to be my weapon of choice, my bladed weapon of choice at least. And endurance adds to your maximum health. We probably should be preparing it for leveling as well. So I guess it takes 12 of those, but I think we will be smarter when we awake. And by becoming smarter, our maximum magicka will go up. It was sitting there ready to level, so it was time to level it. We'll confirm. And now we're just a wee bit smarter than we were. So it is now 5:30 in the morning. We've had a nap. We are a long way from there. We could go back to the Imperial City and have that conversation. But at least now we have a bed, which is a plus, just for the having of it. We should, you know, it's a long way, but I mean, we've traveled some of this distance before. I think maybe, well, there's also Battlehorn Castle to consider. Because I feel like maybe there's a fight in my future, I should probably have a look at the condition of my armor and things and make sure nothing's about to break. So we're carrying the Legion shield at the moment, wearing the Kavad Cuirass. We're leveling heavy armor a little more than light armor at the moment. There's our greaves. There's our current set of boots. There are our gauntlets, and there's our helmet. We have a spare of basically everything. I think I will put on the leather helmet. I may put on the leather gauntlets as well. Be able to see a little better, at least. So, when you look at our major skills, remember the key here now is 25, 50, 75, 100. Our heavy armor is at 17. Our light armor is at 24. So if we could level our light armor just one more time, and it's very close to leveling, we would have it degrade at the normal rate instead of having it degrade so quickly. And that would be nice. Our blade skill has leveled up some, but is a long way from another level, which is true of just about everything. Much work to do. Much work to do. Our alchemy skill with all of the potion making really jumped up to 61. And you know, from the looks of this, I think we may have leveled enough that we could level again. But we'll worry about that the next time we sleep. There is a lot that there is much to do. So let's jump back in our inventory. Get over here. Find my repair hammer. Find the repair hammer. Open it up. And let's see, the things that we're currently wearing are at the bottom. No. They seem to be in no particular order, actually. Now they would be in a particular order, at least. So let's repair. We've got a fair number of hammers. We'll repair the things that are in the worst condition. Broke a hammer. Broke another hammer. See, we're not very good at this. But we've managed to repair most of our things. And broke another hammer. And broke another hammer. So I think we'll stop there. What did that do for our armoring skill? Armor. Moved it a little, not a lot, I believe. I think we were already at 29. Or it increased to 29. So yeah, we gained a level or two. I should probably, if I'm willing to live with this messy pile of things right now, I should probably drop some more of these books that I'm carrying around. We actually are carrying a spare of that one. Let's see. We'll carry those around. We can drop those off and sell those anytime we come to a town or what have you. We have a spare of that. Have a spare of that. And a spare of that. And a spare of that. That tells me the things that I can easily sell off. I'm a bit of a bookworm. So it took our weight down. So if I'm carrying it and it's a book right now, then I know that I can sell it. Let's go back down to the main level. That goes to the vault, but we haven't put anything in the vault. I'm not sure what the deal is. I guess we don't get access to those teleporting to the, or is it upstairs? Let me go have a look here. Order of Frost Expire Vault. No, that's not what I want. I want to go back up. Somewhere. Maybe those were outside. And of course, eventually we want to get the magical tallow candles. Let me just run around in here for a second longer. Go here. Because now that I think about it, I'm not sure what those out front were, but... And then there's a door that goes outside over here somewhere, I thought. Yeah. Is this that balcony? And were those portals to the Mages Guilds on this balcony? Yes, they were. Now, we wanted to go to... And I wonder if the portal makes traveling a lot faster. I do want to go check out Battlehorn Castle and see what's going on over there, because we did hear that someone was besieged. Maybe it's worse people. Is there a Mages Guild in Coral? Mages Guild, Skingrad, Anvil, Bruma, Kavach, Imperial City to the Arcane University, Shaden Hall, Leowen, Coral. See what time it is, and see if this teleporting, all right, it's 6:20 in the morning. If we were to fast travel our way to Coral, if that's a 6-hour trip, I would think this would take 8 to 10 hours, and it would be late in the day. So let's find out if fast traveling to the Mages Guild takes as long, or if this portal is like taking the Shinkansen and you get there a lot faster. What time is it? Oh, it's instantaneous. I actually kind of wandered into the Mages Guild. I bet that was the last. And you're not surprised to see me.
I'm Athragar of the Mages Guild. How can I serve you?
Well,
Are you interested in joining? You'll need to talk to Tikius then. Otherwise, just talk to the head of any of the local guild halls.
Okay. What do you sell around here?
Let's get to training.
It's very expensive training. Good to know.
Only
What do you
quality
have in the
goods for
way
sale
of
here.
spells?
What can I interest you in?
You have nothing I could afford, although rebuke undead might be handy to know at some point, but my skill level in conjuration is too low to cast it anyway. Now,
All right.
hours.
Good day.
All right. So that means that we are. I'll come back and talk to that guy you told me to talk to, Athra, whatever. That's a whoops. Sorry, wrong room. My bad. I have no sense of direction. I get turned around really easily. That goes outside. So here we are in Coral around daylight. So that's a very handy. Hello. That is those portals from Frostcrag. Getting to Frostcrag Spire may be slow, but getting back to the cities from Frostcrag gonna be awfully fast. So that's a good thing. But Battlehorn Castle. We should go check that out. See if we can be of some assistance. Now, I'd like to take that off. We'll make our way down there, though, afterwards, perhaps. It's early. Thanks to our magic teleportation device, we certainly got here sooner than expected. So I just need to go straight out, and I think my horse should be right outside that door. Is this the one that goes outside? No, that's somebody's house. That might get me outside. Waste not, want not. Coral South Gate. Is that the correct gate to be out by the stables? Yes, it should be.
One more coin and I can get a pair of shoes.
You know?
Thank you, kind sir.
Why do I think you're going to spend that on Cirilli Brothers wine?
It's good to know we've got such a strong Fighters Guild presence here in town.
I should check that out
Blessings of
sometime.
Akatosh upon you.
Yeah, blessings to you too. Gesundheit. Now, unless I'm wrong, my horse should be out here somewhere. But maybe not.
Hi there. If you are looking to buy a horse, go inside and talk to Bongond.
No, just wondering where my horse went off to. I bet he's at the main gate instead of... So in theory, your horse spawns out by the stables. But in this case, the stable is not at the main gate. I'm going to do this the cheeky... all right, it's 7:20. Let's see how long it takes me to jump across town. 20 minutes would have passed. Walking through Coral before everything opened just seemed excessive and somewhat tedious for everyone. Now, that puts me inside the city. Let's go and see if the horse is out here. Otherwise, he'll turn back up at some point when I change locations again. But, and it's not a really long walk to that castle. I would just rather have ridden. But no, I don't see my horse here either. He's wandered off, has a mind of his own. So if I follow, well, all right, let's go back. Of course, I suppose he could be at Wayne and Pryor, but let's just take the 20-minute walk back across to the stables, and then all we have to do then is head west along the road. And it's not really that far. So we want to go that way. Yeah, I don't know where my stupid horse is. I didn't mean it. No, really, stupid was stupid in the affectionate sense. Yeah. Morning, nothing like a morning commute.
Well
Of course, I
met.
can't. Yeah, you too. Let's make sure we're going the right way. And we are. So, if we wander along here, I don't really feel like stopping to murder the deer. There is a pillaged mine ahead. Now, of course, if I walked this, I would gain athletics skill. That noise tells me something is following me and is out to kill me. One dead wolf. Let's heal ourselves. Because he did... Oh, what have we here? A wolf attacking the lady. Well, I was going to help, but you rode off with the wolf in hot pursuit. And I don't think my spell... I was more than willing to give you a hand, but you didn't seem interested, so good luck. I wish you well with that. So we have passed the pillaged mine. There is a castle that is supposedly having trouble with bandits. Or did we just turn around and ride the wrong way and go back toward Coral? Yep, we sure did. I got turned around. That was... I really got to work on the whole... I got to work on the whole... Now, here comes this wolf again. Oh, my. That was a bandit who got taken out by the wolf. So let me get this straight. I stopped to help, and it's actually somebody who would have wanted to do me harm. Oh, dear. I've joined the circus. And there's the wolf that I killed. Oh. All right, so there's this cat. Whoa, whoa. What's your prop? Whoa, don't hit my horse. Do not hit the horse. Asshole. We'll just take all your stuff and leave you here. I at least now understand why they're having issues with bandits. Is this going to be another jackass coming out to try to kill me? Who are you?
I suppose I have a moment. What is it?
So, I guess you're not a bandit? Now, what's over there? That would appear to be a horse. So there are bandits wandering around out here, two of whom have attacked me. No, that's a deer. Not a horse. That's another deer. So what And the jumping Jehoshaphat is going on. I hear battle noises as if the castle is being attacked. I should try to see if I can help. Make this my active quest. I didn't hear any noises, but I've heard rumors. I guess rumors count. So let's be prepared for whatever might. Hi, asshole. You really ought to pay more attention.
Do your worst.
This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death.
Am I supposed to be impressed? Someone's been murdered!
Let's get this over with!
You'll never take me down.
Okay, those are both bad guys. You know, maybe if I put a little distance between me and them. Hard to tell the good guys from the bad guys out here.
Hi there. This is indeed a dark day for all of us left. But I thank you for risking your own life to help us. Here, take this. It'll tell you all you need to know. As the newest master of the castle, I bid you welcome.
No, see, I just stopped to, I just heard you were having, problems and thought I would, it feels a little unnecessary. The marauders who were attacking Battlehorn Castle have been defeated, and the grateful survivors have granted me the deed to the castle. I've heard of people who really didn't function well in the absence of leadership, but this is a little ridiculous. I've learned that I can purchase everything I need to restore Battlehorn Castle to its former glory from Nilphus O'Million at the Merchants Inn in the Market District of Imperial City. Great, more stuff for me to buy with money I don't have. What did you give me that was supposed to explain everything? Was it a note? Was there is there something in my inventory? That's about the assassination. There is our Frostcrag bedroom area purchase. There's the memoirs. Lord Kelvin's will. Wait. Didn't mean to close it. So I'm looking for Lord Kelvin's will. I, Lord Kelvin, son of Jaron, and sworn knight of the True Horn, upon my death, do hereby bequeath Battlehorn Castle and all her lands, dependents, and chattels to the bearer of this document. All right, hold up. The bearer of the document was the guy who handed it to me. Such an unusual document requires explanation and resort to such measures out of desperation. I pen this while Battlehorn Castle lies besieged by a band of ruthless marauders, with little hope that any of us will survive. Besieged, I say, although this petty battle would not have raided a footnote in the great days of the Knights of the True Horn. We have fallen on hard times indeed. I will entrust this document to my last faithful retainers with instructions to destroy it in the last extremity, although I accept that I may have provided the means for my murderers to legally take lordship of Battlehorn Castle, so be it. To the new lord of Battlehorn Castle, whoever you are, know that you inherit a stronghold with a proud tradition, built by remnants of the Knights of the True Horn, exiled from our homeland of Laneland and Hammerfell, failed battle to destroy the barren track of Laneland. Our leader order is split up into many small groups. My father was part of a group that settled here, waited for a message that never came. All of our knights of our little band have given up or passed on, all but one, my father Jaron. Since his untimely death, I have continued to hold Battlehorn Castle in the hope we would someday hear from Lord Kane. I'm afraid it's fallen on hard times. I've devoted to maintaining the castle at great cost. We sold off our stuff. If you find yourself with the means to restore it to its former glory, a friend of mine named Nilphus O'Melian holds many of the accoutrements in storage and on account. All that's required is to repay the castle's debts to Nilphus, and I'm certain he'll return. My final request for the new Lord of Battlehorn Castle, which I guess is me now, is to continue to uphold the proud traditions of the Knights of the True Horn and honor the memory of our brave service. Well, that's a heck of a way to find yourself the owner of a castle. And I guess the locals are really, really used to being... I'm about to be seriously over encumbered, aren't I? I guess that's my shadow. I thought I was leaving a bow lying right. Yeah, I'm going to be Shield of the True Horn. I am already over encumbered, and there are bodies everywhere that need to be looted. We'll just, yeah. A magical longsword. Some repair hammers. That may come in handy. Was that a... Yep. Well, equal opportunity. Lord Kelvin, alas, has been killed. A sad day. Sad day. Another dead marauder. The marauders were certainly a... I'm going to say, diverse bunch. Yeah, we're just going to take everything and then try to figure out our encumbrance problem. I got to find somewhere to put things. I imagine there are things here. And we killed 2 of those guys. Is that the 2 that we killed outside and then turned the corner and went in? I don't think my lighten burden, carry more stuff spell is going to really help. Let's see how over encumbered we really are. Oh, just 400 pounds. We are carrying... It's a wonder I'm not crippled by this at this point. You know, if one of these guys had stuck around to help, that would have been nice. But no, they just hand me the deed and then go their merry way. Watching and waiting, I guess. My goodness. A bellows and a forge. And there's a whole bunch of stuff up here. I guess they were going to make wine. Manual of Arms, Manual of Armor, Eastern Provinces books. So there are plenty of books, tongs and a hand scythe, a battle axe, an iron bow. Yeah, we will take your repair hammer, though. Caliper, there. We'll take that repair hammer, too. Yeah. What is this little shack here? Maybe there's room for me to just kind of... it's a blacksmith. Did the blacksmith survive? He did.
Well met. Well met. For you, of course.
Extremely
It is
friendly.
said that eating taproot can bring you good luck. I
Then
can
he
repair
will
almost
repair
anything.
things for a price. But I gain more by doing it myself than I do by paying him to do it. Yeah.
Be seeing you.
And I guess the bed is free to me because as Lord of the Castle now, I guess technically anything and everything here is mine. That would be how that works, isn't it? I think. But I really got to find somewhere to drop some of this stuff. Let's go back outside. Well, that was simpler than I would have anticipated. All this just after lunch. It's been a productive day. And we still have other things to do, but I got to get rid of 400 pounds worth of spoils of war. That's not what I meant to do that time. One of these is Starlight. I really don't get as much benefit from that light as I would like. So I own the display case. But again, here I'm not going to have to dig in and figure out why I can't figure out how to put things in the container. Yeah, I'd really like to find somewhere to just drop. I mean, I could just drop everything in the big hallway there. And that may be what we double back and do here in a minute. Not a lot of staffing. Apparently, so we know that we have a blacksmith who is still alive. We have at least the one member of the guard, watch, whatever, is still alive. You know, that rug. Once in a while, real life interferes with gaming. If anyone who actually knows me, real life knows me, been to my house, does that rug look familiar to you? I don't have that exact rug, and I think mine is a little more rectangular than perfectly square. But if you've been to my house and you're watching this, real life has just intruded on my gaming. Yeah, okay. It's awfully close. The colors are the same. Anyway, mine's maybe not quite as elaborate as this one, but it doesn't miss by a whole lot, to be honest with you. I'll have to look to see if the pattern, I'll have to look a little closer at the pattern. You know, when you have a rug and you've got stuff sitting on it and everything, it kind of blends in. You don't really think about the patterns and all necessarily. I'm about to just drop a whole bunch of stuff right here. Let's see if I should be wearing some of this stuff instead. The shield is equivalent to, so that's the True Horn shield. That's the Legion shield. Honestly, I kind of like this one a little bit better. So we'll put that on, or carry it. So that's the shield. This, all right. We're wearing the Kavach Cuirass, which is kind of spiffy looking. It is light armor, which is a good thing. But I think with that, we could probably leave. Well, we can definitely leave all of these spare cuirasses here for now. We're going to need to figure out, though, ultimately, how to get all of these goods to market. Resists fire on self. These are my new favorite greaves. 10%, they're enchanted greaves that are heavy armor. But that's 10% resist fire, and if I have to deal with another Oblivion Gate, that could come in real handy. We're going to keep the spare Legion shield. And I mean, it's banged up, but we'll keep it because we're familiar with it. We'll leave the spare here. I still have to drop another 200 pounds before I can really move. We'll drop the spare cuirasses. We will keep with us the Legion greaves that we've been wearing. All these spare boots can go. So now there's our cuirass, and we have a spare. We have extra shields. I'm going to drop this. No, you know what? We'll drop that for now. Keep the leather one for the spare. Because there's nothing worse. Well, I mean, there are things worse, but it's bad to be in the middle of a fight and suddenly find your shield broken or your armor not working. That's not conducive to long life. We'll drop off a whole bunch of just debris here. Hang on to that for a minute, because that's the kind of crap that we can sell off as soon as we get to a town. So that's been my spare set of greaves. Oh, still over encumbered, obviously. We'll resort that by weight again. So we're keeping, no, we're going to sort that by armor value. So we got a shield, we got a cuirass, we have greaves and a spare. We're wearing the leather helm. We could put on the iron, but I'm going to drop it. We're wearing our Legion boots. But you know what? I'm just going to put on the leather boots because they don't weigh nearly as much. These steel boots are crazy heavy. Got our leather gauntlets. We'll keep the Legion gauntlets with us. We can certainly drop. So we've got our greaves. I think we have 2 of everything. Now if we start dropping weapons, we shall keep, oh boy, 24 pounds. We'll be underweight as soon as we drop the Iron Claymore, which I'm not planning to use. The Longsword of Burning does fire damage on strike, though. It is enchanted. Does it have charges that I have to worry about? We can drop the Iron Longsword, although we're about to get underweight. Let's drop that. We'll drop the lesser of the bows. We got silver arrows, which is handy because the undead do not like silver. And steel and iron, they have a tendency to just laugh at you. So if we were to head for a town nearby somewhere, we could sell off some crap. I'm sure I picked up things I didn't need. All right, so we could pick up 11 pounds worth of stuff to take to sell, because we should make a little money. So now we own a castle. We'll go around the back way, go back into Coral, because there's still time. It looks like we'll be making the trip down to this cave thing they wanted us to clear out. Looks like that may be another day off. Battlehorn Castle. So back to the Imperial City. Camp Ales. So yeah, suddenly we've gone from no houses to 2 houses. But I would think we head back to the city to sell off some things. So I could pick up another 10 pounds worth of something. And the rule of looting is that you take as much as you can. I have no idea if this stuff will be here when I come back or not. That's 9 pounds. It might just be worth it to get rid of those. Or the extra bow, which really doesn't have a lot of value. That's 1 pound 4, so we'll take those. So now I got room for 8, 7. We'll pick up one more item that we can carry without being over encumbered. Yeah, you take the things that have the best value for their weight. Probably. Ow. I'm going to hurt myself in here. We'll take that shield, and I think that puts us about as close to encumbered. Yeah, within 1 pound. So now that I'm not over encumbered, let's look around at my new castle. That if I pick up that repair hammer, I'll be over encumbered. There's another claymore. That goes out to a tower. So there's basically a storeroom. That's the door that goes out to the front. Now we can run around our castle a little better, at least a little faster. Now we can check out the other side of this place real quick. That's the east wing. Wondering if I have a bed here, or had the bed been sold off? That's the Great Hall. Isn't that where we just came from, I think? Yeah. Yeah. That's the east wing. Looks like where everybody eats. That's back to the Great Hall. Nice tableware. I guess they'd hung on to it. Not something you see every day. Where are these? Nope, Great Hall. Yeah, they really had kind of stripped this place down pretty good. And sold off a lot of stuff, you can tell. South Tower. Battlehorn Castle basement. I bet this is going to be expensive to get everything out of. You know, storing things for a kindly old wizard is one thing. But you probably have somewhat limited expectations of how much the crazy wizard could afford to pay. A guy who owns a castle, on the other hand, might be considered a little better, a little wealthier. And, yeah. Another door. Another door. Aha! A bed. So I could come back to the castle to sleep later. I just have to remember where the heck this bed is. Because I am all amount of turned around here. So somewhere in the basement, if I wander around long enough in the nighttime, I should find a bed. Now I got to find the door back out to the Great Hall. Would you look at that? So if I can get to the basement, I have somewhere to sleep without going back to the castle or to the spire. Now I need a door that goes outside. Let me out of here. Oh, another bed. A really randomly placed bed. Appears to be a barracks. I'm guessing that's not going to be real heavily populated after all of the fighting that had gone on outside, though. All right, this looks like main hall kind of stuff. So now, is there a door to get outside? Nope, that's the east wing. All right. That's the east wing. I just want to go outside. That's also to the east wing. There's all the stuff. That would mean this is the door to go outside. Whether all of the stuff will get picked up, and we'll find out, I guess, how honest or dishonest our remaining residents are here soon enough. That, I guess, would close. Yeah, that would close the gates and things. Let's go up high real quick. Sorry. The man who just kind of handed over all my stuff and said, "Here, I work for you now." What's over there? Can't really see out. That would be an Oblivion gate. Those things are going to be a problem. That is what that would be. Good to know. For now, however, we just need to make our way back to Coral. And I don't really want to deal with the Oblivion Gate. I don't want to deal with ever how many bandits are hanging out at that abandoned mine. So let's go back to Coral and sell off some of this crap. Although I didn't really bring a whole lot to sell.
Yeah. Can I help you? What are you looking for? The general trader and Smith are near the fountain. The bookstore is up the street towards the chapel.
All right, good to know.
Good day.
To you too. So, near the fountain.
We've met many times. When I saw him in Cheydinhal,
Hello.
He walked right past me.
Hondatar is the name. I'm a hunter and mountain man. Not a nice place to visit. Those that remember still tell stories about the bad old days. About 30 years back, there was some trouble out there. Bad trouble. Legion had to be called in. People killed.
Okay.
The deer here are skittish. Need to get them quick, or they'll lead you a merry chase. Poison on your arrows can help, and it won't hurt the meat.
All right.
Sometimes I just go look at the great oak. Magnificent, don't you think?
Sure.
Some say the Legion burned the town to the ground, but it's still there for those that go looking for trouble. Still folks living up there, but no one you'd like to meet after dark.
All right. What do you
Pay attention,
train in? Archery?
and you can learn a lot.
Athletics.
Fair
All right.
idea.
No doubt.
Hondatar,
Have you heard any
you've been
word
a...
about the other provinces?
Nothing I'd like to talk about.
So long.
Bye.
Evening. You're a bold little thing, aren't you? I'm afraid you're of no use to me. Goodbye.
I'll keep that in mind.
What's going on with you?
I saw some mud crabs by the water recently.
What is that? Francois Montier's house. So there should be another shop up here, other than...
Take care.
That's the Fighters Guild Hall. That's the Mages
Greetings.
Guild Hall.
What exactly do you
How
require
can I
of
help
me?
you?
I swear he told me that the shops... Aha! Wrong fountain. That's Fire and Steel. I'm looking more for the general trade goods guy, though. The Oak and Crosier, which I assume is the local inn of sorts. Renoir's books. Might be worth checking. Maybe he's got those 2 missing books I need. I mean, it doesn't cost anything to go look around, right?
Welcome to Renoir's books. I'm the owner, Estelle Renoir. Look around. If you don't see what you want, please ask.
Well, now that you mention it.
Yes, it's quite odd. Renaud, who I've bumped into several times in Coral, acted like I was a complete stranger. Also, he seems sober, which is a refreshing change. Usually Renaud is stumbling around Coral drunk as can be. Very odd, but then it's really none of my business.
May I interest you in some of my fine wares?
Let's have a look at the books you do have. Of course, I would have to remember what books I needed. But you do seem like a good place to sell off a few of my spare books.
You've made a good bit of... a good price for a good customer.
And I do appreciate that. All right, so I don't see anything that looks like the
Thank you for your business.
mysterious and
Farewell.
exciting missing 2 volumes about the Mythic Dawn, but it was worth looking, and I was able to leave a few books with her and do a little trading. It's always nice. There's the chapel, which is where he said the bookstore was. But I gotta be honest, I didn't see the general, unless that oddly named... Northern Goods and Trader. There we go. So this Renoir fellow is acting funny, huh? Something to keep in mind when I
Hello,
run into
I
him,
don't think
suppose.
we've met. Are you new in town?
Well, as a matter of fact,
Likewise,
yes, I am.
I'm always glad to meet someone new. Welcome. I'm sure my mother would be glad to meet you as well. My mother owns this shop. She would be glad of your business.
Well, that's very
That
nice.
Ramalas Briant sure loves his dogs. A little too much if you ask me.
I'm not going to explore
Farewell.
that with you any further. So, do I go upstairs? I bet
Only
you're
the
the owner.
finest wares to buy and barter at Northern Goods and Trades. I'm Seed Neas, the proprietor. How can I help you? If I don't have what you need, you might try the other Coral merchants. Renoir's has books, fire and steel for your armor and weapons.
All right. Heard any good rumors?
Everybody's talking about the hero of Kavach. They say he actually went into an Oblivion gate and destroyed it.
Yeah, I believe that's actually true.
I
What
can
do
show
you
you
train
some
in?
new things.
I'll keep that in mind.
What can I interest you in?
Well, let's see what you have. True to your word, you don't carry weapons. Keeps you from competing with the other guy that does. Could be a case of I have what you need more than you have things I need. I feel like that could be true. How about we sell you a few
got
things?
a great... That's a
Yeah.
fair deal. And
Hung on to that
excellent
silver
bargain.
carafe. Was a good call to hang on to the silver carafe.
You've made a
You're
good
welcome
bit
to
of
the
gold.
shirt. Oh, not really. It's all relative. Is there anything else that I have you might want. You're welcome to a wolf pelt or two, if you would like. I think I'll hang on to my potions, though. She does carry scrolls.
Another satisfied customer.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, I am.
All right. Bye.
We already get along well enough that I don't feel the need to engage in small talk to try to charm you any further. So now it's nighttime. Yep, 8 o'clock. See, we're going to level again, it appears. So what did that do to my inventory? That leaves me only 25 spare pounds. So, Battlehorn Castle. There are rumors that Reynald Germain has been seen in Shaden Hall. But that's, okay, so that's actually happening in Shaden Hall, not out here. Where is this Camp Ales? Further away than I would like to travel at night. Especially when I have my very own castle nearby. Nothing else, it could be a place to go sit and take the load off a little. Yeah, I mean, it's early enough that I could dash back over there. Then the following day's adventure could be going down the Colovian Hills and checking out this Camp Ales place and seeing what that's all about. Yeah, seems like a reasonable thing to do. Because shops and things are going to be closing here. Acrobatics just increased for me trying to jump over that wall, which I could not do. So hopefully I'll get a little better at my jumping skills. Hey, would you look at that? I managed to jump that time. Somebody's house, somebody else's house. Well, it's one of those things where, well, the shops are closed, but the people
How are you?
have
I'm Carmen
not
Litter.
yet gone to bed.
Perhaps you know my husband, Alberic Litter, the Mage's Guild sorcerer. What can I do for you? Are you a student of the arcane arts? My husband, Alberic, is an advanced trainer in conjuration at the Mage's Guild.
I will keep that
Go
in
ahead.
mind. Well, I can't do a whole lot of harm. She likes boasting. She hates jokes.
Please, I'm embarrassed.
To the admire.
But thank you. Oh, that's fat. I wish I could. Is that so?
All right. Now, I'm going to dive out of that minigame. I'm going to dive back in because I want to take
Say
a look
what
at
you're
something.
going to say.
Yep. See, now you can see
No, you
how they
do me
feel
too much honor. Remarkable.
about
You're
certain
revolting.
things.
That's just talk.
I don't think I gained anything. But after you have done the
Be seeing
persuasion mini game with someone once, it did level our speech crap once.
Well, hello. I'm Castor Scribonia, the writer, author of Woman Gone Wild. Who is the fairest of them all, other than myself? The proprietor of the Grey Mare is lovely. She and the guard captain would be a nice couple.
All right.
Go ahead.
Keep that in
Be
mind.
seeing you.
I'd rather not screw up.
Hello.
Yeah, you sound thrilled to be on duty. What is it, 9 bells and all as well? Yep, 9 o'clock. Wonder if there's anyone in the Mages Guild.
It's a new shipment of weapons at Fire and Steel. Have you been recently?
I was in there just a few days ago. Rashida's prices are very reasonable.
See you.
Good day.
Gate Tower. But, you know, probably wouldn't be the worst thing to have a conversation with the Mages Guild, since I can now, from Frostcrack Spire, teleport my way in.
I saw him in Chain
Lena
Hall.
Dalton's
He walked
house.
right past me like we were strangers. What? Yes.
Fighters
You have to
Guild.
admit, this is a good place to live. Friendly.
Mages Guild. I mean, while we're here, right? Seems a little early to go back to my brand new castle.
What? Greetings, citizen. Is there something I can do for you? Are you perhaps interested in joining the Mages Guild?
Well, I might be.
If you're thinking of making Coral your home, you should join a guild. It's hard work, but steady money, and people get to know you. Well then, it's no small matter. Membership in the guild is quite an honor, but also a responsibility. Do you wish to join the guild?
Well, it would seem to be a good idea.
Very well. You are now an associate of the Mages Guild. The full guild hall is now available for your use. You'll need a recommendation from each local guild hall in order to advance further. Until then, the Arcane University will be closed to you. Welcome to the guild, and good luck to you.
Well, thank you very much. Achievement unlocked. 10 achievement. Joining the guild.
I'm afraid I can't just write one out of hand. That would be against protocols, you see.
Well, of course.
If perhaps you can clear up a small matter involving Irana, you can prove your loyalty to the guild and earn my recommendation.
What would that small matter be?
She and I have an unpleasant history. She does not care for guild regulations and errantly believes I am misusing my powers. I have seen that she is in town. Though she has not approached me, I know she wants something. I would like you to find out what it is. Determine what she's after and how we may be rid of her. I do not want her here spreading her lies.
Well, that seems reasonable.
The Arcane University is the seat of the Mages Guild in Cyrodiil. Located in the Imperial City, it houses the leaders of our guild.
Yeah, nice place.
Things in the guild have been different since Traven was named Archmage. They're more structured, but everyone seems tense.
Well, new management will do
We're
that.
all better off now that necromancy has been banned from the guild. It's just safer that way.
Yeah, raising the dead is
It's
kind
good
of
that you've joined one of our local organizations. It helps you make the right connections.
It's definitely a union town.
Make haste. I wish to be rid of Irana as soon as possible.
I'll see what I can do, Tikius. So I have the full run of the Mages Hall here now. That goes outside. That goes down to the basement. And I have a key. That was nice. I will say that the application process is not the most stringent. Okay. Loose food lying around. Oop. Sorry.
I'm Contumelorius Florius. I'm in charge of enchanted item recharge in the Mages Guild here in Coral. Get it? in charge? I'd steer clear of her if I were you. She has it in for Tychius, and wouldn't hesitate to take any of us down with him.
Yeah.
I wish I were qualified to have access to the Arcane University, enchanting items whenever I want. Oh well, maybe someday.
Absolutely.
Smart thing is to join a guild. Any guild. Gets you a place to sleep for free, no muss, no fuss, no crummy tavern food and lice-ridden beds.
Definitely.
Always keep your magical equipment charged.
Yeah. I've got enough charge on there. I'm not.
Half of the Council of Mages resigned when Traven took over the position of Archmage. Goodbye.
Okay. All right. Well, having stumbled in and bothered you, I'll close the door behind us.
I am Alberic Litter of the Mages Guild. I am pleased to make your acquaintance. If you're skilled enough, Athragar has a rather powerful frost spell for sale. Very effective, but dangerous to the inexperienced.
Good to know.
The Mages Guild has made more than a few enemies since necromancy was banned. She's nothing but trouble. She went to the university long ago, but was expelled from the guild. Caused all kinds of trouble while she was there. I think Tychius was the one who finally blew the whistle on her. That'd be just like him too, always playing by the rules.
Good to know. Purchasing spells,
I
training.
offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
Now, that is a much more reasonably priced turn undead. Which would be nice to have the open easy lock spell too, but I mean, turn undead is not the worst thing to have. Has a lot of conjuration spells. So, for those who are familiar, I'm about to explain something you already know. For those who are not, bound items, bound equipment, both comes in both armor and weapons. You can conjure, essentially, a dagger, gauntlets, whatever, in the event that your equipment, let's say you were caught off guard and your sword was dropped over, into the lake, and then your spare dagger got broke, you could summon a magical dagger that would give you something to fight with for 15 seconds. Same thing with helmets and boots and gauntlets and all of those things. My skill level for most of this is too low. I will say that the turn undead, there are vampires about. There are all manner of things. That's you can summon a zombie that will then fight for you, but my conjuration skill is too low at the moment. But he's a good low-level supplier to some extent, I think. Oh, that's that bedroom I just wandered in. Sorry. Here goes that sense of direction thing again. So, yeah, there's a little back storeroom, all manner of food and
hello.
Things. Hello. I'll be going back upstairs now. So that's the Coral Mages Guild. Now, let's have a look at... I need to speak to this Irana person. She could be having dinner or something, or maybe having a drink.
Greetings to you.
I was in Chaden Hall last week.
Evening.
And I'm sure I saw
Lots of
Reynold
dogs in
Germain.
this town. Lots
He
of
acted
sheep,
like he
too.
didn't know me,
Of course,
though.
I prefer the taste
Is
of sheep.
this true?
Oh.
Yes.
Have you heard any
news
word
from
about the other provinces?
They
Nothing
say
I'd like to
syndicates
talk
of
about.
wizards have led a boycott of imperial goods in the
Good
land
day.
of the Altma.
It seems Somerset Isle has become a much more dangerous place.
Bye.
Bye.
So,
Ah,
Irana.
yes, you are a guild mage, are you not? Yet different from the others. Yes, this is good. There's a small matter with which you may be able to assist. It's nothing worth involving your guild in, I assure you. Best if kept just between us, yes? So, what say you? Excellent.
Okay.
It's a simple task, really. All you need to do is fetch a book for me. The book is entitled Fingers of the Mountain. It is of no use to you. You won't be able to read it. I, however, can and would very much like to. You'll find it at an old ruin called Cloud Top. It's north of Coral, up in the mountains. I'm afraid I don't have an exact location. Return it to me immediately when you have it. Make no mention of it to Tychius or anyone else in your guild. I will make it well worth your effort.
So, now what do I do? I need to tell Tychius about this, I would think. Yeah, don't mind me, Arana. I just literally talked to you and then ran right back to the guy you told me not to talk to. I'm sure that wouldn't make you suspicious in the least.
What can I do for you? What? Not only does it exist, but she knows where it is? Well, this is unacceptable. That book needs to be in the safekeeping of the guild. I trust that as a member of the guild, you would do the right thing and acquire this text before Irana does. Are we clear? Ignore her request. Go to this place she has described and return with the book. This is far more important than any petty squabble.
What is this
Should
book?
you go looking for it, I hope that it would be for the sole purpose of bringing it here.
Yeah.
Make haste. I wish to be rid of Irana as soon as possible.
Yeah. So, she'll make it worth my while, or he will...
A visitor, yes.
Good evening.
You ever talk to Hondatar? Odd fellow. But he seems to know his way around these parts.
I've heard he knows his way around. I see. Anvil is all in an uproar. First the chapel attacked, now the prophet ranting about the end of the world.
That's terrible.
No doubt.
Heard any news from the other provinces?
I have heard that the great houses of Morrowind are in upheaval. Indoril is in ruins, and Redoran is besieged by the Nords of Skyrim.
It seems that these are turbulent times in the land of the Dunmer.
Safe travels.
Goodbye.
Oh, hello.
What's going on with you?
I heard there were some goblins around here recently. Awful creatures.
Horrible.
Seems like that one guy over in Shadenhall isn't the only one who's forgotten when he's had conversations with people, but I'll just leave them to it. So where is this Cloud Top Mountain? Well, what do you know? So our plan had been to go deal with Camp Ailes, but perhaps we should clear out Cloud Top Mountain first. But for now, I think what we need to do is get back to our little castle and see if we can manage to not get lost while we try to figure out where those beds were. You guys might want to, clean up the bodies and stuff. I'm just saying. Really need to have somebody get right on that. Okay, so all the crap I left here is still here, at least. That's something. So here's this. Now we should figure out that door to the basement. Was it off the east wing, maybe? East wing. Because there's not a west wing. There's no door that way. or that way. That basement was either... Ah, there we go. The basement, if I recall correctly, is where we found that bed. Or beds, plural. We go down, and we go down, and we go down, and around. And, you know, I could probably sleep just about anywhere, because, well, apparently it's my castle now. Here's a Mage's Guild Charter. That's probably handy for me to read at some point. And a whole bunch of fancy clothes. Lots more clothes. Obviously, multiple people were living here at one point, or sleeping here at least. But I think it is time. Unfortunately, I think the owners of an awful lot of these beds, or the regular occupants, a lot of these beds won't be needing them any longer. They are no longer consumers of oxygen or in need of sleep. They're resting in a different way. That might be, as we stay true to a little bit of role play and try to sleep at night and not travel the roads in complete darkness while we're still not exactly the world's greatest fighter. This might be a good time to get some sleep. Yeah, 1 in the morning. And then there could be a trip to Cloud Top. There could be a trip to Camp Ailes. There is definitely much to do and to be done. And, of course, we still have a castle to take care of, an orrery to repair. Hopefully that'll buy me some good favor with Arcane University, which seems like it could come in handy. Still got to keep our eye out for Nirnroot as well. Need to go down and see what this prophet in Anvil is on and on about as well. And at some point we have to make our way back to our castle so that we can teleport again, because that was kind of fun. But maybe we get this book out of the way tomorrow. But tomorrow is another day, or later today is another day, and so it would be time for a sleep and probably a level up that will go with it, which we will do the next time I pop up and we continue our journey in Oblivion Remastered. I appreciate you watching if you've made it this far. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you again very soon. Right now, it looks like bed is calling me. Not the most comfortable looking bed, but oh well. Can't be too picky. See you soon.